Hello, my name is Keishon, and this is a day in the life of a slave in the Holy Roman Empire. You wake up before dawn, not to birds or anything of the sort, but you wake up to a overseer, a commander of the slaves. Your body is sore from yesterday, but you don't have any time to rest. You're just a slave, and your day is just beginning. As soon as you wake up, you start the day by immediately going into the fields and working on agriculture before even the sun rises. The overseers whip hardly to keep you in shape. You're tired, but you have to keep going fast and efficient, or else you'll be whipped. Sometimes even these whippings can lead to death, and you didn't want to be the guy that died yesterday. So you continue. Then greatly past the morning into the day, it was time to get food. For food, you would only usually have porridge and then maybe bread. You would mostly have bread, but during bread shortages, you only got a small portion that would necessitate your survival. You were the backbone of the Holy Roman Empire's economy, as slaves did quite literally everything back in the day. You're given rations, but not many. And then as soon as you were done, you're sent right back to the fields. The work usually depended on the season. During the winter, you would be subject to making clothes to help the Romans stay alive during the winter. During spring and summer, it was mostly agricultural work. During fall, it could go to agricultural work, or it could go to, let's say, pouring wine, watching, no, watching livestock, and sometimes you could even get lucky in a sense and have one of the more easier jobs, like say laying textile, though even this job required you to get whipped if you weren't going fast enough, which every slave was never going fast enough. All these labors were backbreaking, and even with advancements like mills and plows and other tools, handheld tools that you could use, it was still not exactly easy for a slave to do anything. So you kept at it. Then the day got into midday. You're taking a break, but you have to remember you didn't have any rights. You were about to make a complaint until you heard somebody else made a complaint, and then the overseer promptly grabbed him and pulled him into the middle and executed him on the spot. You are not allowed to make a complaint or even exert exhaustion. You would be seen as weak. And if the Romans saw weakness, or an overseer at that, they would swiftly either kill you, whip you, or do a lot worse. And you didn't want that. So, while you were taking your break during the midday, you just stood there, not really doing anything. But you could only take a very short break, as soon as your break was done, you had to get right back to work in the blazing heat. Now, in the evening, if you were permitted, which you were at this time, you could start sharing stories with your fellow slaves. They weren't much, but they helped get you through the grueling days. Now, at nightfall, as soon as your work was all done, the exhaustion finally took over your body. You thought to yourself, another day done. And then you head back to what you may call a home at the time that housed many slaves. You didn't have anything like the upper class Romans did. You didn't even know anything about those. All you did was get on the hard floor with no blanket or anything, and you had to shiver or be in a lot of pain asleep. You just laid there, falling asleep, knowing that the next day you would either have to do much, much more backbreaking labor. It wasn't an easy life. It was a very difficult life, but it was your life. And that was the day in the life of a slave for the Holy Roman Empire. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.